shoulders wide, step clean out of line, hold my head up high. They can take my eyes, but I still take to flight. They can't break my mind, for what I'm born with is mine. Remember who you are, remember who you are.
Welcome to another episode of Wayne's World Fishing, guys. Right, today I've got a few hours left before I go to work, so I'm going to try and head down to the river and get some perch. Now, normally I go down there and I use spinners, plugs, you name it, but today I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to try a new technique which I've seen quite a lot of people doing online. Whether it works or not, let's give it a go. It's called a drop shot. Now, when I say drop shot, I don't mean dropping a shot when you're playing golf. It's an actual rig. Mainly comes, I think, from America, used for bass fishing. There's not many bass over here. I think there's a couple of pools that still got them, but that's neither here nor there. When it comes to fishing for perch, this looks like a killer rig, so I'm going to give it a go. Now, it's the first time I've ever done it, so bear with me. There's a lot of things that you need to have and things that you need to know, but you've probably already got them in your tackle box anyway. So let's take a look at the ingredients that I've got to give my rig its extra pizzazz. Right, let's have a look at what I've got. Take a look. There you go, guys. Right, guys. Here's what I'm going to be using to make my rigs. Okay, now, as I said before, I'm going to make it slightly different to what you might have seen on the internet. I'm going to add my own little twist, a little bit of pizzazz. That's what happens here at Wayne's World. First of all, the main line I'm going to be using, not the main line, sorry, but the main line for the rig will be a 15-pound shock leader in a nutshell, okay? Yes, it's quite heavy, but as I said before, in this country, not that we only have perch, but we have pike and zander in the same areas, and whatever a perch will eat, a pike and a zander will probably eat. So the reason why I'm using very heavy line, I'm going to try and get around using wire trace, because I would prefer to use wire trace. I'm a big believer in it, but nevertheless, I think wire trace in this rig just won't work. So the larger 15-pound monofilament should bring in a large pike. That's the plan. We'll see, I guess. But with perch, it should be absolutely fine. Also, I've got some, what's that, 4-pound line. Very thin stuff. Like, you know, just box standard stuff. I mean, the main line on the reel will be 8-pound line, monofilament. This is only going to be used at the bottom of the rig to attach the lead weight. And the reason for that is the lead weight is going to be bumping along the bottom. The odds of it getting caught in the grass, in the weeds, sorry, or in a snag are high. So you've got to be prepared to lose your lead weight every now and then. So what I'm going to do is attach it with very fine monofilament. That way, if it does get snagged, the whole rig won't come off, just the weight. So that's the plan anyway. Got some size 8 swivels, and I've got some 1/2 ounce cheap little bombs. You know, what you'd use for perhaps like paternoster rigs, or I don't know, any old kind of carp rig. Really, it's up to you. But I mean, these were pretty cheap, and there's 3 in a pack. And as I said, the odds of losing them are very high. Here's the secret bait, guys. I've got these power baits. Okay, these are little miniature minnows. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, I got them off of the internet. eBay is your friend. I think for a pack of, what have I got there, 2 for 6. I think it was about £5, if that, £4, £5, including delivery. Much cheaper than tackle shops, guys. You've got 6 there. The odds of you losing 6 in one session, in a handful of sessions, is slim to none. So I don't know if they're any good, but I've got a funny feeling that I know perch like minnows, so why wouldn't they like these jelly minnows? I'm going to give these, definitely give these a go. Now, save yourself some money when it comes to putting the hooks in these minnows, okay, because they're just like they're jelly lures. They don't come with any hooks in them. Now, a lot of people spend money on these hooks, or these jig head hooks. You can do that, be my guest, you know, but here at Wayne's World, we try to save you a penny. What I've got is a packet of normal, I think they're don't hold me to it, I think they're number 3 or number 4 long shanked beach casting hooks, just for beach rigs, about £1.50 a packet of 10, okay? And as you can see here on this little minnow, here's one I threaded earlier. I've just threaded the hook through the minnow. As you can see, it comes out the top of the minnow there. That's where he's going to be going on the drop shot. Hopefully he gives it some of that in the water. Now, if you wanted to cast a minnow on its own, use it like almost like a, well, I say not a spinner, but like a lure. What you could do is just attach some SSGs or some large shot weight to the front of it to give them the jigging action, and that's it. You don't have to keep going by all these jig heads, hooks at like £2 each or £1.70 each. As I said, you can buy a packet there for about £1.50, and you can use your brain, which is rare in this day and age. But, you know, yeah, use your brain and you can get away with it. So I'm going to give this little guy a go. He looks delicious, so hopefully the perch think the same. So let me put the rig together and I'll talk you through it at the end, okay? Okay guys, so here's the number 8 swivel here. It's not very good camera, I admit, but there you go, you can see it roughly. Right, that comes down about 2 to 3 feet worth of £15 line, as I said before. Here's the hook with the minnow on it. Okay, I can't remember. I think it's called a Palomar or Polar. Not that I've tied for that. Not to worry, guys. Freeze the screen now. You just saw that was the knot, so don't say I didn't show you how to tie that knot. I learned that myself off the internet, and it was literally very easy to do. Again, it comes from there all the way down about another 3 feet, which I've done that because the river's quite deep where I'm going, to another number 8 swivel. That's £15, crosses over then to just £4 bottom with a ½ ounce lead. As I said before, guys, the reason for that is this part will break away if it gets snagged, and the odds of it getting snagged down the river are quite high. So let's get down the river and give it a go. Drop shot ready to go. I'm going to give it a few casts. I just found these little bays, they're really cool actually, I've never seen them before. So I'm going to give it a few casts here and see how it goes. You never know, you might catch one. Wayne's World Fishing on the drop shot. Let's give it a go. Right guys, third cast, had a bite, a little bugger come off, can't believe it. He was only small anyway, but I felt him dart around. Very sensitive because you've got the weight's at the bottom of the rig. So as soon as you do feel something, take that lure, it's instant, it's great. Probably not very big perch. It was definitely a perch because of the with a pike, you'll know, anyone who's fished for pike and perch will know, but when it perch, it's the kind of like little darts. But that's great, third cast, and I've already had a little bite, so I'm really happy. But as you probably know, the whole premise of this rig is, as you cast it out, the lead bomb, or the weight rather, sits at the bottom, and if you can keep your rod tip high and just reel in slowly whilst jigging it, so it bumps along the bottom, that as the weight bumps along the bottom, above the weight, obviously where your lure is, the lure will dance in the water following the pattern of the bomb, and that is what's so irresistible to the perch. If anyone knows about perch, they're so annoying and inquisitive. They'll just take anything as long as it moves. So yeah, let's have a couple more casts. God, I can't believe it, already had a bite. Normally when I'm on spinners and lures and plugs and things like that, it takes a long while before I even have a touch. So you never know what I might actually catch. Ignore that bug. Here I am down the river. I came down yesterday. Time was against me, so was the sun. It was going down. I didn't have long, as I say. Unfortunately, I didn't catch anything, but I wasn't here very long, so I didn't really give it a fair shot. Good technique, nevertheless. As I said, like, it's quite finesse. It's something that I wouldn't recommend to the first timer. I'd stick to the spinners, plugs, lures, things like that if you're doing it first time, just in case, because you can go heavier with traces, bigger plugs, bigger lures, and you get more control in my opinion with those. But with the drop shot, as I said, it's such a fine line as to knowing whether it's dragging on weed or if it's an actual bite. But nevertheless, it's such a great technique. You've got to give it another go. Well, I've got to give it another go anyway. So I've come back down. Plus, yesterday, as I say, I got here quite late, and the thing that was against me yesterday, as I said, the sun was setting. I was being eaten alive by mosquitoes. So guys, when you go fishing, take mosquito repellent. Trust me, this stuff will either make you or break you, because those bastards out there, they will not stop. They'll eat you. So, anyway, back down here. Let's go and see if the perch are biting on the old drop shot. The drop shot minnow. You saw it here first at Wayne's World. I've just had a little perch, follow the lure, or follow the minnow straight up to the bank, have a little dart at the end of it, and he bit the tail, but he didn't actually didn't take the whole thing and get the hook, but he was only small anyway. But that's very reassuring to know that the rig is working. Now, as you can see, guys, fishing very light, because when you're spinning or when you're lure fishing, you're always on the move. Whether you're in a boat or on foot, try to pack the bare minimal, just the stuff that you're going to need. Like me, I've got my fold-up net, which is an old trout net. They're really great. I'd recommend them for fishing for small pike and perch like this. Unfortunately, I haven't got a unhooking mat, but there's plenty of grassy areas here, so if I was to get a larger, well, a jack pike or a larger perch needed to be properly unhooked, then I'd take it to a pretty weedy area, make sure that the fish was comfortable. But if you've got a little roll-up mat, that's even better, guys. But yeah, this is a great way of fishing, and the fish are biting, so let's carry on. We've hooked ourselves a perch, I think. Little perch. Yeah, nice perch. Not the biggest perch in the world, but perch nevertheless. the drop shot minnow works. Hold on guys, let me just grab him. This isn't going to be very easy. Come here. And there you go guys. Drop shot, minnow, waynesworldfishing. Let's just take the hook out of him. Ah, swine. It's got a lot of fight left in this one. What do you think of that, guys? It's taken a little while, but we've caught ourselves a nice little perch. Crackerjack fish, as they say. Anyway, let's pop him back, see if we can catch a bigger one. Not bad for a couple of hours. Drop shot, minnow on the drop shot. Waynesworldfishing. You saw it here first, guys. Well, guys, I've got snagged up again. As I said before, this is quite hard because it keeps getting caught on the bottom. I seem to be spending more time, I think, mucking about with the rig than actually using it. But I just saw it work, so I caught a nice perch with it. I'll be honest with you, I probably will use it in the future, but I'm leaning towards the conventional side when it comes to spinners and plugs. As I said, I've snagged up again now, so I'm just going to put a wire trace on and whack out a perch spinner, and the odds of me catching one of them are probably just the same as using the old drop shot anyway, but I prefer that way. What can I say, I'm a bit old school like that, but yeah, so it's a good technique. I'm not going to say it doesn't work, because it obviously does. You saw that yourselves. I'll probably give it another go. If I do, make sure the camera's rolling. But yeah, it wasn't so bad. It wasn't so bad. So I suggest you guys go out there, give it a go. If you like it, it might be the way forward for you, fishing for you. But for me, as I said, I'll stick to the old ways. What can I say? I'm an old dog and you can't teach me new tricks. Anyway guys, stay tuned, subscribe just there. Don't forget, waynesworldfishing. Come on guys, the more people that subscribe, the more comments, the more I'm going to keep going and doing this. Alright? Keep tuned in. You saw it here first, Wayne's World.